Good morning. Hey, 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 hey. How's everybody doing? Hope y'all doing good. I'm doing better. I actually got better sleep. I think I slept 7.5 hours this time because they had no load yesterday. After I got where I got, I dropped that load off. They ain't had no more loads. So I headed back to the truck stop. Still didn't get a chance to do everything I wanted to do because by the time I started cooking, felt like the day was already over. Time space reality is getting closer and closer. So time is going to move a lot faster now. Still kind of having somewhat of a breakfast. I didn't really have a breakfast. It's a peanut butter sandwich. I don't really like to eat early as soon as I wake up, but I have to get a better I have to get a better eating regimen. I hope everybody's having a good day. Hold on a second. I had to move this piece of paper with my address on it. Anyways, so today I want to talk about loving yourself in despite of other people's criticism, other people's narrative, and all that good stuff, right? So when we grow up, we come into we come into a culture. You know, your family is a culture, society has a culture, and that just means it's a set belief system, a set way of doing things, right? So you want to kind of make sure that you don't go against the grain and stand out in a negative way. So we're always kind of constantly scanning for approval. This is just a human thing. Don't take sensitivity or offense to the fact that you may do that. It's just normal. That's the way humans interact. It's called human connection, right? But then you have the dysfunction that happens within society that causes that way of doing things to become an issue for the everyday person still trying to learn how to love themselves and to understand what's considered good or bad or right or wrong, right? Then we have something called confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is when you go and you look for things that confirm what you already believe. So what happens is, this is a confirmation bias example. You as a person may be from another culture, another race, another gender, and you feel that a particular race, anytime you see that particular race, you already connect a bias to that race, meaning you already connect that they may be violent. You may connect that they may be promiscuous. You may connect that they may be racist. That is confirmation bias. You don't have a proof, but you can go and see proof based off of something you've already, for example, if you say um, all black people are violent, you may go and look up information that shows a violent attack done by a particular black person. And then you might use that as a way to say, this is going to be my confirmation belief, my confirmation bias. Humans tend to have a lot of bias belief systems. There's more than one type of bias. There's bandwagon bias. If a lot of people are saying it, then it must be true. For example, you got people all over social media that will say, well, I don't want to listen to that person's YouTube channel. They don't know what they're talking about because they don't have 100,000 views or a million views. You know what I'm saying? They don't have 50,000 subscribers. So what they saying ain't that important. That's bandwagon thinking. Instead of looking at maybe somebody's a small channel, they may be bringing some statistics that can actually help you out of a situation. A person will be like, nah, I'd rather listen to the person that's telling a bunch of lies because they have a million followers. That's bandwagon bias. So in order to love yourself, you gotta stop. You gotta. It's not like you can't seek approval, right? Because you do want to seek approval from your loved ones. You want to seek approval from your boss, but you want to do it in the right mindset. You see what I'm saying? You have to see is this person serving my purpose? Or are they stopping me from serving my purpose? Meaning, are they hating on me? Hold on. Are they hating on me? Are they trying to stop my flow? Are they becoming an obstacle in what I got going on? If you see that's happening, then they're not a type of person you want to seek approval from. You may still have to deal with them, but that doesn't necessarily mean you have to now allow them to stop you from loving yourself. You got to get to the point where you stop listening to people. Don't let people push you around. Don't let people tell you what to do. How I learned to love myself was when people would insult me when I was younger. The reason why it would rub me the wrong way was because I knew it wasn't true. So if somebody called me a bum, a bitch, a heoe, all kind of names under the book. Anything, right? It rubbed me the wrong way because I'm like, why would you call me, God's creation, a good person, a person that doesn't do what you're saying? Why would you label me that way just to hurt my feelings? But what happens is sometimes people will allow those insults to resonate and make them feel like, well, maybe they are right. And there were times where when my mother would insult me when I was a younger girl because I couldn't find a job or something, and she'll be like, oh, you'll never be nothing. You're just a bum, a loser, those type of names. At first I'll be mad. I'll be like, man, why is she talking to me like that? Because I know it's not true. But then sometimes it'll, like, let's say a couple days later, I still haven't found a job, or I might be going through something, and I'll start to feel like maybe what she said is true. You see what I'm saying? That's how you start to defeat yourself. Stop doing that. That's not how you pour into yourself. You have to pour into yourself even when other people are trying to stop pouring into you. That's the beauty of having self-supply. You got to be your own supply. But you have to monitor how you do it because you don't want to do it with narcissistic mindset. Meaning, you don't want to start hurting other people and still using other people for supply, or even when you're being your own supply, you're doing it so much that you're not in reality. Like you're telling yourself that you're more than what you really are. So if people are giving you constructive criticism so that you don't go and make a mistake, you thinking you can't make mistakes. You're just so perfect. You know everything. So you don't need nobody's advice. That's the opposite of loving yourself. That actually shows that you have low self-esteem, and now you're doing what's called compensatory supply. You're compensating. So now you're giving yourself compensatory supply, meaning that you're feeding yourself an overabundance of supply that is not even valid. So there's a fine line between being overly egotistical, confident, arrogant, vain, conceited, versus just confident, assured, assertive, happy, loving. You know what I'm saying? You have to be resonating in those terms in order to know that you're fully formed, you're fully evolved, you're fully aware. You'll never be fully complete or fully perfect because this whole lifespan is a learning experience. We were not here to be perfect. God didn't place us here to be perfection. He placed us here to be near perfection, to understand what perfection looks like. He shows us perfection, and then he says, okay, I need you to start to work towards that. I understand you can't get there because this world is an imperfect world. This world is imperfect. But he can give you the vision and understanding of what perfect looks like, but you won't achieve perfection, but you can achieve your level of perfection. That's what self-love looks like. You achieving your level. Even in the face of adversity, even when people are trying to tear you down, you can still say to yourself, I am love. I will be love. And then you still have to express love. When you express love to others, it allows you to love yourself because you're being a loving person. You can't be self-love and spewing hate. It doesn't, those two things don't work together. They're oxymoron. You have some people that come on YouTube and act like this guru leader person, but they're spewing hate. They're telling you love is this and love is that and be love, but then they're spewing hate and anger and venom. and you're seeing all the exact opposites of what they're talking about. That's how you know they don't even love themselves. If you love yourself, you're not going to spew constant hate. For example, I made a video, a shorts 2 days ago or 3 days ago, and I was like, humble yourself, get rid of pride, right? In order to receive wisdom. In order to receive true wisdom, organic wisdom, you have to be humble. And humility means not being so braggy, so puffed up. And someone comes in the comments to insult me and says, well, take off your makeup. So this is what I'm talking about, is that people will try to twist your narrative to make you feel insecure, right? Even if I made that same video saying, humble yourself, don't be prideful, with no makeup on. Let's say I had no earrings on, no makeup, nothing, right? Just bare face, no earrings. They'll be like, well, stop putting gel in your hair, or stop wearing fake hair. Let's say I had no fake hair, just my usual short Halle Berry cut. They'll probably say, grow some hair, or lose some weight. It's like people, you got to get to that point where you have to realize that people are coming from a confirmation bias when they attack you sometimes. So people might prejudge me and say, oh, she's pretty, she might think she's all that, right? Or she's pretty, she might be a dummy, she might be an airhead or a bimbo, and that's an insult. So they used to associate anybody with blonde hair as a bimbo. And that was a confirmation bias. If, let's say, a blonde girl does something goofy, they'll be like, oh, see, that's what a blonde girl would do. Or let's say a black girl gets into an argument. There was a situation with Kelly Rowland where she was walking up the steps in, I think, the Academy Award show. Sorry. I think the Academy Award event. I love my new coffee cup. And I think the security guard was a white lady. She was like kind of like pushing her a little bit to like hurry up and leave. And you could see Kelly Rowland turn around like, don't let me check you, right? So everybody had their opinion on how she checked the lady, the security guard. Some people were saying she has this celebrity entitlement complex where nobody can tell her nothing. And then some people were saying, no, the usual Kelly Rowland is a very sweet girl. She doesn't, you don't hear her in the in the tabloids and the drama scenes. She don't play that type of stuff. Maybe this was a valid reason why she got upset. But they gave her the confirmation bias comment. Oh, all celebrities have this entitlement complex. That must have been what happened. Meanwhile, there is no audio in that video. None at all. All you've seen is Kelly Rowland hands doing something like this, and she's doing the neck twirl, right? So you're assuming this lady getting cussed out in so many words. But they made the statement that, well, she's a celebrity. She must think she's all that. So therefore, the security guard must be right. And this is the problem, is that we can't just be naturally who we are, express ourselves without a level of confirmation judgment. So you have to get to that point where you understand that people are going to judge you on all aspects for whatever their personal reasons are. Some could be valid reasons, and then some could be confirmation bias, groupthink, bandwagon thinking. There's so many levels of why people judge you. So if you worry about every reason a person is judging you, you're going to become an empty shell of a person. And you're going to never want to speak out. You're going to never want to stand up for yourself. You're going to always constantly be sitting in the back of the class, hiding from the teacher calling you to the front. I used to be afraid of public speaking. I would be like sweating profusely because, I have anxiety, and it would heighten, and I would be like drawing a blank. Like yesterday, I made the video and I was talking about, I asked my son if we were to play characters in a role, what type of character would he think I would be? He said I would be considered the anti-hero, somewhat like a vigilante. And I asked, what about my mom? He said the villain. But yesterday, when I was talking, I was getting a little nervous. As I'm talking, I get a little nervous. I said my mom will be the victim. I did not mean to say that at all. She is nowhere near nobody's victim. She would be the straight up villain in the character. Whatever movie it would be, my mother would be the victim. See, I'm about to say it again. Would be the villain, and the other like side people would be the flying monkeys or the victims. So I'm saying this to say, I just got a phone call, but I'm trying to make a video and that kind of like interrupted me. I'm trying to say I do got to go though because this time is running. That really threw me off just now. That phone call coming in. Oh, I hate when that happens. But you guys just maybe I'll come back on later and make a part 2. But I'll talk to you guys later because I'm gonna see what this person wants. All right, love you much. Bye. Sorry, y'all. You know what? I had to come back because I did get off kind of quickly. So I had got a call from one of my friends from YouTube checking on me, making sure I'm good. That's the thing I like about, whew, God is good. Ever since I started my YouTube channel, oh gosh, oh, just a hot mess. I made a few friends on YouTube, and you know, every now and then they would call and check up on me, make sure I'm okay. And I'm like, okay, because I don't be having a whole lot of time to make friends. And it's good to know that this hair is a mess. Even with social media, you can make a few friends. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so where I left off, I was saying how people have confirmation bias and they'll try to change who you are, where you're coming from, your viewpoints on life or whatever to suit their narrative, and they feel like in order for you to be somebody, you need to listen to them. And it's like, no sir, no ma'am, I'm going to listen to myself. So it was like another time where I made a video where I said, I'm out of breath because I just did my pre-trip. I was like, just enjoying the water. I had just did a drop and hook and I had seen a lake, and I was like, I put it on my shorts, and I was making a video saying, oh, I'm just enjoying the water. I said God's beautiful creation, and I said he, and then I said, well, she. Some people refer to God as, you know, as a woman or a she. Now I don't even want to say the word woman, as a she. So someone came in the comment was like, oh, God is a man or a male. That's why he created women after as a helpmate. And I'm like, that's not the purpose of the video. What is wrong with people? So my thing is this: I don't want to have to explain or prove my belief system. If you don't like my belief system, just don't like it. Just, you don't have to comment and try to persuade someone to believe in their belief system. I don't believe God has a gender. I don't. I say he only as a form of respect instead of saying it. I'm not saying he because I believe God is a man. I just believe God is an ambiance. It's like a omnipotent being, right? He is the beginning and the end. So I'm not saying that I will stoop God down to a lower being as a man, because the man is a creation. It's a human. It's a creation. This is all my belief system. So I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, well, yeah, God is only a woman. He's only a woman. She's only a woman, I mean. God created man and woman. And in women and men, he created them in that likeness of what God represents. These are the attributes of God. The woman and the man have attributes of the creator. So that means he's all encompassing of both genders. Okay, you don't gotta say my name. Just like, see, just blowing up my whole business on thing. Like, what would make this thing just start to say my name just out of the blue like that? It was trying to it was trying to change. I don't know why it was doing that, because I had it in yard move. Oh, it was trying to go back into on duty. That's what it was doing. So I have it in yard move so I could do my pre-trip. I have like 5 more minutes left to my for me to be able to leave. So yeah, I was saying, my belief system is my belief system. I've done practice Pentecostal. I've done practice Jehovah Witness. I've done practice non-denominational Christian, Baptist. I done spoken tongues. I done been all through different churches. I was raised by a preacher. My father used to go all through New York City preaching the revelation in the streets with all 6 of his kids, and we had to sing hymns, victory in Jesus, hallelujah, you know, all that. I grew up on that. And then I converted to Islam in 2001. I started doing the research. I met my kid's father. He introduced me to it. At first, I wasn't really trying to hear that. And then I started redoing research. And ever since then, I'm good with that. They might say, oh, well, why do you practice a religion that's so male dominant? I think the religion wasn't meant to be male dominant. I think this is how people turned it into. All these religious countries that want to oppress the woman, there's a special place in hell for them, because that's not what Islam taught. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he wasn't a mean person. When they described him in the Quran, he was he wasn't violent. He was very nice to his wives. He's very caring. I don't know what this new Islam is. I don't. Because when I was introduced to it and I went into certain places and I seen how some of these brothers was talking to their wives, I was like, hell no, I ain't converting. But then when I started reading the actual book for myself, it brought tears to my eyes. I was like, wow, this man was really a sweet man. So when you read the Bible, there's some parts where there's some mercy. There's some parts where there's war. You will interpret it how you want to interpret it. Because I will definitely say it's also sounding male dominated. You see what I'm saying? And I would say a lot of religions sound male dominated. Because you got to remember, a lot of males wrote it. So are we going to take and throw the baby out with the bathwater? Or are we going to say, okay, let's see where it makes sense? That's how I look at life. I'm very objective versus a subjective type of person. So when you come in the comments, talk about, oh, God is a man, God is a woman. It's at the end of the day, that's your interpretation, and I respect that. But don't come and try to rain on my parade and rain on my belief system. I don't believe God has a gender. I believe he respects the man and the women. In the Quran, it says the only 1% that a man has over a woman is his physical strength, and that Allah expects the same amount of obedience from the female as much as the male. So I don't know why men don't pay attention to that portion of it, but that's just how it is. And I've accepted that people have confirmation bias on a lot of shit. They want to take what they want and work with that and leave the rest off. So why can't I do the same thing? That's how I pour back into myself, and that's how I don't allow other people to paint my narrative for me. You're not going to paint me and tell me, okay, well, in order to be a whole woman, you can't wear lipstick. The hell not. The hell with what you got to say. Because at the end of the day, one's supposed to have crackhead lips where it's all cracked up because it's dry. Because I tried Vaseline. Vaseline rips your lips apart more. And it's not, I don't need you to come in the comments, well, there's organic lipstick and there's lip balm, like whatever. At the end of the day, let me do me. I will let you do you. Like, can we live in peace? Please. So that's what I'm trying to say is, in order to love yourself, you have to stand up for yourself. Stand up for what you believe in. Some people, some men will say, well, women only wear lipstick because, not lipstick, makeup, because they have low self-esteem. Oh, be quiet. Don't say my name. The computer keeps trying to say my name. Some people will say, well, some men will say, oh, women want to be noticed. That's why they look cute. She wants to dress up because she wants to be noticed. She wants to dress up because she got low self-esteem. It's never positive. It's never, she feels good about herself, so she decided to look clean today and look presentable and put on a little makeup and a little lashes and a nice outfit. They never want to say that. So if I meet a man and he has an issue with me looking nice and he wants me to look homely and domesticated, I might not be the chick for him. He might need to go find him a Susie homemaker. Okay? Just because you meet somebody and you want to change their narrative, they could say, well, I don't like the fact that you're bald-headed. Can you go put on a toupee? Can you go change your body weight? Can you lose weight? Can you gain some weight? You know what I'm saying? Why do that to a person? Just accept them for what they are, how they presented themselves. Don't come and try to change somebody else's narrative. You're not all of that to be like, well, I should determine if a person should wear lipstick or not. Like, who appointed you in charge of society like that? You got to get to that point where you start questioning those type of people. Well, who appointed you in charge of what women should wear? You see what I'm saying? It's just, that's why I said my mindset and the stuff that I've accomplished over the years. When I say accomplished, meaning not accomplished, overcome. The stuff that I've overcome over the years has allowed me the confidence to know you're not going to come and shift what I got going on just because of your narrative. So you got to get to that point where people can't just come, shift your belief system, shift the way you do things because they don't like it. You could be practicing religion for such and such amount of years, and you go on somebody's podcast and they just rip your religion to shreds, and then tomorrow you changing religions. It's like, you got to get to that point where you know what you know, you believe in what you believe in, you stand for what you stand for, and you don't shift your narrative. Be yourself. Don't try to make other people be you, or don't try to be other people. If somebody don't like what you got going on and they don't believe what you're believing in, just say, okay, more power to you, I'll pray for you. You know what I mean? You ain't got to argue with them for hours on why this should be this way and why you should believe this and it. Like, who got time for that shit? I do not got time to be trying to get somebody to validate what I am. If God already validated me, like, why do I need you to validate me? You know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, you might finally get their validation, and then you realize you don't even like them. You realize they're not even the type of people you want to be around. You see what I'm saying? I beat my own drum. I dance to my own tune. And I'm not saying that I don't want to be around other people, because I love people. I love people. And I want to start a female group at some point once I get my YouTube really where I need it to be. I want to start, and I don't even want to use that word empowerment. That word has been so beat down, drained down. It's like, can we find another word at this point, right? Because now when you hear empowerment, you're thinking making someone more stronger than they want to present themselves to be, right? So for example, if a woman is a domesticated housewife, she's soft-spoken, she's just a mother, she doesn't want to be no career-driven woman. She just wants to be a homemaker. She's cool with that. But she just wants to learn how to discover herself. When you hear the word empowering, you might think, she might feel like, oh, they trying to make me strong, strong woman, right? Woman power. I don't want to do all of that. I don't. I just want people to discover themselves. It will be a group of self-discovery. That's it. You get to say what you want, be who you are. I don't like those groups where as soon as you say one thing about your belief system, 5 other women want to come and change your narrative. Like, you can't say that, okay? God don't want you to say that. You gotta say this. It's too much. It's too much. You got to respect people's beliefs. You have to. If she wants to talk about her husband in the group all day and that's her truth, shut up. Just shut up and let her talk. You got some women groups where as soon as you mention the word man, they all hate you and want to kick you out the group. Or you put your kids first or something. I'm just being hypothetical, right? And you might say, I'm all about my kids. I put my kids first and this is where it's at. And they're telling their truth because y'all are in a group. Y'all talking about y'all love for life and who you are as a person. And people want to criticize you in the group and be like, she only think about her kids. What? She don't even, it's just like, can we stop doing that? I want a group that is organically about self-discovery. The word self is in there, right? So if a person is showing their self, their true self, and they're trying to learn more about their true self, they don't need someone snickering and trying to persuade them to not be themselves, if that makes sense. I'm all about organically being yourself, being different and eclectic and weird as it may be. If that's your true self, and it's like some people have quirks, some people might have little weird fetishes, and I don't mean sexual. I'm just saying some people might be like, I like to clip my toes at night or something, just whatever. We need to allow people to be in their own space, in their own truth. That's what true acceptance is about. That's what true friendship is about. Now, if they're doing things that is affecting other people and hurting people, then yes, you want to check that situation and be like, listen, that's a hurtful thing to do. But if they're just being organically themselves, and then it's like, dang, as soon as I said the word this, all the females jumped on me. Oh, they all had something to say, I'm not buying, that's not what I'm about. It's just not going to work for me. So that's how, okay, it's time for me to get up out of here. My break is over. But y'all get what I'm saying, right? It's all about, that's how I've learned to love myself, is that I had to block everybody out. Just like when I first learned to drive this truck, the instructor told me, I used to always worry about, oh my God, people are going to know I'm new. They're going to know I don't know what I'm doing. They're going to say I'm a bad driver. And he was like, stop it. Stop it. You have to get to the point where nobody else matters other than you inside this truck. Not tune out like the traffic. Of course, you got to pay attention to other cars. But he was like, tune out the naysayers. Tune out the doubtful thoughts and just drive this truck. And I had to learn that over the time, that it helped me to build my self-confidence when I tune out the people. So like when I go to a truck stop now, not now present, but I started paying attention to the drivers that looked more experienced. I noticed that they don't look around. They be looking at their truck and what's in the immediate area, and you don't even see them bat an eyelash at any of the other truck drivers. I've gotten to that point. There could be people trying to, like, let's say I'm trying to do something, a maneuver, and you got like maybe a guy over somewhere trying to like say, oh, you need any help or whatever. I'm not trying to be rude to him, but I'm literally at tunnel vision where I'm paying attention to what I'm doing as I'm backing. If he really trying to get my attention and I have to stop that maneuver, it may throw off the direction of what I'm trying to do. So once I get to that point where I'm confident of the setup, I might look over at him to see if it's anything of importance that he need to tell me. Now, if it's something where he's warning me, like, hey, you about to something about that will stop me instantly, and I'll realize somebody's warning me. But sometimes people might just be looking or snickering. I've gotten to the point where I can tune them out. Every now and then, if it's really obvious, like sometimes they could be standing right in front of your truck and you could see that they're looking, I might look over and pay attention. But usually when I do that, it throws me off. It throws me all the way off when I pay attention to somebody else. So I trained my body and I trained my mind to block bullshit negativity out of my vortex. I don't see it. If I'm walking by and a girl snickers or rolls her eyes, I don't see it. I don't. It was a time back in my younger years, I would only focus on that. Only focus on, what you say? Huh? You looking at me? What? Hey. New Yorkers tend to do that. Back in the day, you be on a train, riding the subway, and a dude look at another dude. He want to get up and fist fight the dude. Knowing he got work, he got to go home to his kids. He's sitting up on the subway fighting another dude because the dude was staring at him. Bro, we got to grow up. We got to pay attention to what is positive. Where are we going with this situation? Someone's looking at you. Where is the situation going? Okay, clearly he doesn't like your sneakers. So effing what? You got on red. He might think you a gangster. So what? You're not. You're going to work. Unless he's physically walking towards you to lay hands on you, that is when you should be paying attention. But if he's just staring at you because he's a hater, let him be a hater, because he's going to probably stare at everybody else that comes on that subway cart. Same thing with the females. They'll get so mad because somebody's staring at their pocketbook, and it's like, girl, why are you looking at me? Well, if you wasn't looking at me, you wouldn't know I was looking at you. That's the point. And that's a valid point. If you wasn't looking at me, you wouldn't know I was looking at you. And even though she's a hater, she got a point. She was hating on you, but if you wasn't hating on her back, you wouldn't even know she was looking at you. There's some truth in these details. So it lets you know, okay, you obviously is in the same position as me, worrying about me as I'm worrying about you. So you got to get to that point where those people do not matter. If you know they about that life, let them be about that life. Same thing with YouTube. You got people on YouTube that would just hate and talk about people, and you're like, I ain't even do nothing to this person. Why are they talking about me like that? Let them. They bored. They may have nothing else to do. Let them talk about people. That's what they do. Okay, that's cool. Nothing wrong with that. As long as they're not pulling up in your backyard or showing your private information or something that's like really, you know what I'm saying? That could really mess up your life. I got to that point where I realized as I'm getting older, I really don't give a fuck about that. I don't. It is not that important in my life. What's important is getting home alive to my children. It's hot. It's getting home alive to my children and remaining spiritual and focused and grounded. And that is all I have for you guys for today. Love y'all much. Thank you for all the feedback. I try to keep up with the comments, but sometimes YouTube don't show my comments. And I didn't even realize there's something called Held for Review. So let me tell you, yesterday I went to my Held for Review. It's a button on the YouTube studio that says Held for Review. So what it does is it will hold the comments that some people will send for review. I pulled it out and there was 3 comments. One of them was like long ass paragraph, and it was about the video that says women need to help one another or support one another. And I must have said something about American culture. They lit into my ass with them comments. They was like, oh, it's you Caribbean people that come over here and worship the white people, and before you Caribbean women came over here, American women wasn't like that, or something like that. And then it was like, it was the video was called the exploitation of women, I think, in 2024 or something like that. And they were like, your country, the women dress less, more sexy or something like that, and that we promote like the young children getting raped or something crazy. And I was like, wow. So I don't know what I said in that video that provoked all of that. However, I will say this: when I talk about American culture, I'm not even talking about it in a black person thing. I'm talking about it as a cultural, systematic thing. So they were saying black American women versus black Caribbean women. So I got to go back and listen to that video again to see where, because sometimes people might take things out of context. And my whole thing is, I'm not trying to offend anybody, but that venomous comment sounded like it could have been a woman, and she could have been an American woman. And there is a lot of division between the Caribbeans, the Africans, and the Americans. And I don't even think that's a woman thing. I think that's just a cultural thing. Because As we know, this system, the system of oppression, it is to conquer and divide. And as long as we notice that, we don't let it beat us to the... So when I make those comments or those videos about that, it is not to say specifically attacking anyone's culture. I'm talking about the whole system as a whole, generalized as a video. So I was just like really surprised that video was so... It was just a really, really, really bad comment. So I deleted that comment. And then there was another comment, but now I can't remember what they said, but I remember deleting that one too. So I'm kind of glad that YouTube allows the hold for review comment option. So it allows the content creator to go back and see stuff that people say that's really crazy before posting it. But sometimes people will say regular comments and YouTube won't post it. Because I had a couple people ask me this week and last week what happened to their comment, and I'm like, I didn't even know you posted a comment. So I may have to write YouTube and find out what's going on. I noticed there was something in my YouTube studio that says there was a bug on your YouTube studio from such and such date. I think it was May 14th to May 30th or something, where some of your comments may be hidden or something like that. So I have to go back and read it. It's just that with me working and all this stuff, my day be too crazy. I never really get to sit down and really see what the hell is going on. So I do apologize if anybody's comments have not been shown up, or if it looks like I haven't responded. Sometimes I'll literally hit the heart emoji and then I'll go back 2 days later and the heart emoji is not there. So it looked like I never seen the comment. I'm like, what the hell? So then I have to go back in and hit it again. So child, y'all got to work with me and work with YouTube. But as I was saying, I do really appreciate you guys and I love you much. I'll talk to you soon. Y'all have a great day. Bye.
You're my sweetest addiction. You're my strongest inspiration. And I love you. It's true. There's no mountain I could not climb as long as you are mine. And I thank you for being you. I'll be your best friend. I'll be your guide whenever you need me. I'll be by your side. I love you more and more and more each day. I love you more and more and more than I